give up. I give up. I don't understand. I used to do it for 3 hours a night when I was, 16, 18 years old. I really stumble on bass these days. I miss-hit notes or I don't hit them at all. But I have fun. That's important. I'm looking at a, I don't even know what they call this thing, a Gretsch Jet Bass 2 from the Electromatic series. I did another one on the, I guess it's called the Jet Bass 1 or something, but a single pickup one that had the pickup kind of in the middle. Yes, indeedy. We better dust here. I've dusted. Man, I took this out about a week ago and it was just fine out of the gig bag, and here we are a week later. So for some reason in this back room, there's always a ton of dust, and I even have a little filter machine to filter it out. Probably stirs it up more than anything. Anyway, an Electromatic Jet Bass 2. What's the difference between this and the one pickup one? The one pickup one had the pickup in the middle, kind of right about here. Sounded just fine. I think they're great. The difference is this has 20 frets, this has 20 frets, and the single pickup one has 19 frets. So the scale length on the single pickup one was 30 inches, and this is supposedly 30.3. But man alive, you go into the forums and you see all sorts of, I suspect, misinformation. They talk about this bass, the 2220 with 2 pickups, and they talk about the single pickup one, the 2202. Same exact numbers, but the last 2 numbers are reversed, 20 versus 02. And then you find some that refer to the 2210 that has TV Jones pickups in it, which I find hard to believe for a cheap bass coming from China. And when you look up the 2210, you actually come up with a Gretsch Streamliner 6-string lead guitar bass. Try to find a picture of an actual 2210, and I think I found one on eBay, but it looked like it was just mistyped or something. So that's the difference. This has a 30.3 inch scale, and versus the single pickup one, which is a 30-inch scale. And if you set them right next to each other, they look identical right up to here. And then when you get up here, you can see that this is like a ½ inch longer, not quite. And 3-way switch, single, bridge pickup, middle, both pickups, and the bridge pickup in the 3rd position. And a master volume and master tone. There's no way to blend the 2 pickups, which I think is a real shame. That they could have charged an extra $50 and sold them, for just that extra ability. It plays great. It plays just like the electronic other pickups. The interesting thing is these were sold for years and years and years with humbucker pickups. But in fact, they never had humbucker pickups. They were always single coil pickups. And I found that out by watching a video by a fellow, I don't remember his name now, his channel, LowEndLobster or something like that. And he's a bass guitar channel. It's really quite an interesting and fun channel. And when he heard that, he investigated into it and found they were all single coils. You can't find any that actually have humbuckers in them. So it's just the way it is. They advertised it as having humbuckers for about 10 years, and then they gave everybody rebates if you ordered after a certain date. So I got a rebate on this one, but on my other one I had ordered it some date prior, and so they wouldn't honor a refund on that, even though it was advertised to me as having humbuckers, even though it was a single coil. I think it really tells the story of us, because everybody, myself included, said cool, little mini humbuckers. And I loved the tone of those mini humbuckers. I think I said that in that first video with the single pickup one. And lo and behold, they never had humbuckers. but I sure thought they did, and I thought they sounded great. And I still think they sound pretty darn great. I think they still sound great. The tuning pegs on these are not as good, on this one anyway. The other one has really solid, and I think they're probably exactly the same, but I have one here on the D string that is quite loose and sloppy already. I haven't played this all that much, but it's already getting loose and sloppy. So look up LowEndLobster, and he actually took the pickup apart to show that it was a single, because people were saying, oh, it's probably a stacked humbucker, that's why it doesn't show up. And in fact, he took it apart and found it was a single coil, and him and other people took them apart, and they were all single coils going back as far as they could find. And so shame on Gretsch for not checking them out. I doubt that, I doubt they intentionally misled people. My guess is they ordered humbucker pickups from whatever factory in China, and the Chinese factory had no clue what a humbucker was versus a single coil, and they just put in a single coil mini. It's in a mini humbucker housing. You can see that, but it's a single coil. Let's test it out. I don't know if you're going to see this or not, and I've not tested it out myself yet, but I saw him do this. These are little magnetic sheets, and you stick them right over the pickup. Yeah, you're not going to see them. I'm going to get up. And you stick them right over the pickup. It takes a while for it to demagnetize and go away. Well, that kind of shows it. You can see the dark edges around the sides are actually, that's the edge of the pickup cover. And then right in the middle, you see there's just one little magnetic thing in the middle. And the same over here. I'm not getting that very good on camera. Anyway, it shows that it's a single magnet in there, suggesting it's a single coil. And so some people said, well, it's got to be stacked then. They wouldn't advertise for 10 years that it's a humbucker. And in fact, they did. So he took it apart and looked at it. I'm going to put LowEndLobster. Bottom end lobster, something like that. Anyway, I'm going to look him up and put him in the description. So there's not a lot to report here, to talk about, compared to the single coil one. The single coil one has its pickup right about in the center, probably right just behind where this front pickup is. I can see it over there. Yeah, it's right about here. It'd be right behind that front pickup, probably. Just about there. And this is a 30.3 scale inch with 20 frets versus 30-inch scale. And then there's a lot of talk about the 2210 version of it. And I can't actually find one, and there's no mention of it. Let's see what we got in the bridge pickup. You know, when I think about it, yeah, that sounds like a single coil. Let's check out the tonality. It doesn't mute it down that much. That's fully closed. hear it. It's either fully closed or fully open. There's not anything in between. Fully closed. It's like 1.5. If you give it number scale, 1.5, 1 to 10, it's at 1.5 it opens up. And everything past that is closed. So I can go from 10 down to 1.5 and there's no difference. Once again, they should have just put in a two-way switch, on and off, for treble. I'm going through the E band in a bass setting. Anyway, I can't tell you, let's just look through this and tell you what it is. It is right-handed, it has 4 strings. Oh, I did not know that. It's made out of basswood. I think the one pickup one was actually made of agathis or something like that. For the one I picked was not sunburst. The one I got was, the only one they had, was sort of a very dark maroon. I don't know if you can get the color on that or not. Whereas the single pickup one is all black. It's got the bolt-on neck. It's got the 12-inch radius. Fingerboard material is black walnut, and I like it just fine. It's fine. I can kind of tell it's not rosewood. Doesn't quite look right or feel right. But it's not Pau Ferro, so it's got a different feel than that. The nut width is 1.56, which is really thin, yep, that's right on. I mean, it's a small neck up down here. I don't know what it goes to, not much more up here. I mean, it's a really thin neck. It's got the full 100% synthetic bone nut. 4 saddle adjustable bridge. Yeah, it's just got the little bridge things you screw in and out, and you up and down is with a little like a little Allen wrench or something. At least now they advertise it. It's a mini bass single coil, so that's good. And it's 1 master, 1 tone, 3-way toggle switch. Comes with 0.045 to 0.105 strings. Case not included. And lots of references out there about the 2210. I can't find anything that suggests that. I think they just got the numbers wrong and it carried on. The 2202, the single pickup one, there's references out there of it. It's got 19 frets, 1 fret less, 30-inch scale. And there's references to it having TV Jones. And I really questioned that they would put a TV Jones bass pickup. I didn't even know he made bass pickups. TV Jones makes great pickups, by the way. And I just find it amazing that TV Jones made them up in the Seattle area and shipped them off to China to be installed into this, and then shipped back to the US and sold for $2.99. These go for $2.99. The single pickup ones went for $1.99 for ages. Yeah, so I don't think they shipped them back with TV Jones, shipped them back and forth like that. It seems odd to me. But anyway, that's the dealio. And until we talk to you again, we'll talk to you later. We never know what we're going to play out on.